Thank you. Please be seated. The Principal Secretary, State Department for Livestock Development, Jonathan Mweke, Leaders President, the Director of the Inter-African Bureau of Animal Resources, representatives of the African Union member states and the African Union Commission, representatives of the Food Agricultural Organization, representatives of the World Health Organization, representatives of the International Atomic Energy Agency, representatives of research institutions, researchers, eminent scientists, distinguished partners, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I have a prepared text because when you talk to scientists, you don't talk off the cuff because your statements must be factual, based on facts and statistics. So I choose to read something that is written. I bring you greetings from your fellow scientists and the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And on his behalf and the people of Kenya, I welcome you to the home of African hospitality. Besides hosting this 36th General Conference, we welcome you to the home of the African Bureau for Animal Resources. We hold this conference under a timely theme when states in Africa have engaged the high gear in implementation of national development blueprints in line with Agenda 2030 of the United Nations and Agenda 2063 of the African Union. Under these development frameworks, agriculture is identified as a major sector that will propel the continent to a better Africa. Distinguished delegates and eminent scientists, livestock contributes between 30% to 80% to the GDP of sub-Saharan Africa. But this contribution is under threat from the Fly disease, which has been linked to economic losses of up to $4.5 billion annually. This is a major threat to controlling the disease. It is also a major threat to the economy of the continent. With millions of people also depending on livestock for food, the continent will be insecure unless urgent action is taken. The meat market has been projected to the rise by more than 100% in most African countries. For instance, poultry meat demand will rise by 214% by the year 2050. On the other hand, globally, it is estimated that the meat demand will increase by 80%, majorly due to urbanization. And without adding much, is to say, this conference is very important. And with over 300 participants from across Africa and beyond, we have an opportunity to evaluate in detail the strategies we have employed for decades. With advancement in technology, this meeting brings different experts to the table. It is through blended ideas that we can innovate to banish the disease. Further, it is a moment to look at the contribution of research in solving contemporary challenges. It is not about the quantity of research, rather the quality of research for positive impact. Distinguished delegates and eminent scientists. On the other hand, research has established that livestock contribute 10% methane, one of the key greenhouse gases driving climate change. Furthermore, over 48% of rangelands degradation in sub-Saharan Africa has been attributed to livestock. In this regard, this meeting is important in contributing to sustainable food systems through integration of climate-smart agriculture. As we also protect the environment from destruction, especially vegetation, we must find a balance for elimination of the tsetse fly. This is how we meet our commitment to the Lom resolution of the year 2000 of eliminating tsetse flies through this campaign. Distinguished delegates, indeed, Kenya remains steady in eliminating the tsetse fly. Under the current development policy, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, manufacturing is a key pillar. In 2 years, Kenya will stop importing leather items. That is why we are expelling this fly disease, as it's important as we look forward to spurring the leather industry in Kenya. In conclusion, I call upon all stakeholders to work towards impact outcomes in policy and operational research. It is my pleasure to declare this 36th General Conference officially opened. I don't want to add anything much because I'm not a scientist. And I am maybe a quarter a scientist because my boss is a scientist. So through diffusion and osmosis, I've gotten some bit of science. And I want to thank you, eminent scientists, for what you have done for the continent to eradicate sleeping sickness. We are very happy now because in this country, the only sleeping sickness that can be witnessed is from overeating ugali over lunchtime, and not from the tsetse fly. So we hope we'll extend this to our animals so that we can eradicate Nagana, because our livestock supports livelihoods. And I want to urge you to carry on, to do more research, to continue being committed as your contribution to sustaining humanity. Again, as we meet here as African people from the continent, you know that as we speak now, the entire world is at the United Nations General Assembly, mostly to discuss the negative effects of climate change. 2 weeks ago, President William Ruto hosted a very successful conference for the African continent, for the Africa Climate Summit, where we as a continent took a position so that we can leverage on our unity in purpose to engage the rest of the world. So this conference of the African continent, again, is a great milestone on how we as a continent meet, discuss, and agree on how to deal with our challenges. Nobody will come from outside Africa to deal with our challenges. We have to deal with them ourselves. I therefore want to encourage you that this is the African spirit of like-minded scientists and other stakeholders coming together to come up with solutions on how to enhance the battle, the strategy to eradicate the tsetse fly in the continent, to better our lives and to support our livelihoods. So tumeshukuru sana. And those of you, as the peers have said, Mombasa is our pride in matters tourism. We have beautiful and exotic beaches. Those who came from outside this country, please leave some dollars around here, we need them. If you have euros, much better. Because we have many challenges and we can do with a bit of hard currency. So please don't go back with any foreign currency you came with. Make sure you spend it here. It's a good town, people are friendly, and there is plenty in all spheres. So move around and spend a little bit here and there and enjoy ourselves. And we are hospitable people. We like visitors, especially those who come with good news and a bit of money. And I want to say I am also happy that I want to be associated with the success of Kentech, previously Patek, and the very good work that was done by Dr. Pamela Olet when she headed that program. It is because of that sterling performance of eradicating the Sese in this country and offering very good leadership as a team leader that President William Ruto, in his wisdom, decided to appoint Dr. Pamela Olet as the chairperson of the Nairobi Rivers Commission to assist us to clean the river. Because the reasoning of the president and the rest of us in government is that we like people who are tested and proven. If you have done something and you have succeeded and there is record, we give you something else to do. That does not mean we shall not experiment with newcomers, but they will be given lower responsibilities. But a responsibility as great as cleaning the Nairobi River and restoring its past glory needs a proven hand. And the story of Patek and Kentech and Pamela Olet is a good story for anybody to read. It's a successful story of persistence, good leadership, commitment towards a certain goal. And I want to encourage all of us who are given the privilege to serve to do so with passion and commitment for the Kenyan people, for the African people. Again, and as I said on Sunday, those of us who have been given the privilege to serve, do so with humility. Have empathy with the people that you take care of. Respect those under you, and they are the ones you work for. So everything must be about the people. Everything must be centered on the people. And that includes discussing their challenges in a respectful and dignified manner so that everybody feels part of the process and looking for the solution for a better country. With those very many remarks, asanteni sana.